Believe it or not, it seems like our first teasers and or reveal of Modern Warfare 2 in some capacities right around the corner. Now, while that may seem like an odd time as of recent years to reveal an upcoming game, it's actually not too far out of the ordinary. In fact, it's actually quite ordinary to see. Today we're going to be talking about a date in particular that has come up here that an industry insider has tossed out, taking a look at why it's so early, or if it's early at all, what we'll be seeing here around that point, and the upcoming months ahead leading up to the launch here for what is all but confirmed to be Modern Warfare 2 at this point. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What would you like to see in a teaser or reveal for Modern Warfare 2? Price in 141, our new bad guy. Who do you think will be a returning character, good or bad, that we haven't seen in Modern Warfare 2019 just yet, but could be making a return from that original trilogy? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below, but if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you'd like to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, make sure you hit the subscribe button, especially as it definitely seems like we're right around the corner at this point for all things regarding that. So if you're interested in staying up to date with any and all information, do be sure to hit the subscribe button. And finally, if you'd ever like to support the channel a little further, using creator code Espresso in the in-game shop of either Warzone, Modern Warfare, Vanguard, or Black Ops Cold War is an entirely optional yet great way to do so. Do not ever feel pressure to, but if you ever do, tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your generous support and upcoming videos. That said, let's jump into it. So, the information that we're going to be talking about today comes from Ralph's Valve, who is an insider that we've talked about here plenty of times so far. His track record has checked out, but as of yesterday, he put out probably the most ambitious of things that he's done so far, and we'll talk about why in just a second. But Ralph ended up tweeting out a countdown timer with 20 days, which ends on April 30th. Then following that up initially by saying, let me preface this, that the reveal is still set for May. So first thing, this is pretty awesome and pretty eye-opening that we are right around the corner here for something that could be our first teaser, some sort of initial confirmation. Whatever the case, under 3 weeks away now at this point. We are really close and it's coming up on us rather fast. And secondly, I applaud Ralph for this one. Balls of steel with this. In this sort of scene, breaking information, especially when things are so volatile, such as dates to do things, stuff like this in the industry is tentative. It is absolutely subject to change. So to bank it and full send an exact date for this kind of stuff, that's some confidence. So pending no changes, we could be pretty close to seeing how legit his sources actually are. But anyways, back to that first thing. This is pretty big. April 30th, again, is right around the corner here. But there's a few things that we can kind of break down here for this. Number one, how far out of the ordinary is this? If you're new to the franchise, only have been here since like the Warzone launch or something, the last few years of game reveals, this seems way early by comparison, right? Well, yes and no. Warzone drastically changed the landscape of how these things are handled. After the launch of Modern Warfare 2019, Activision wanted to give all the focus and marketing to that and those first 2 seasons of content to follow. Then in March, nearing that sort of halfway point of the year in the grand calendar scheme of things, Warzone was released, a new major offering halfway through that life cycle of support. But Warzone's entry was way more in depth than you may consider because it was a free-to-play game and was marketed for literally every gamer as that sort of entryway into the Call of Duty franchise. There was no $60 barrier and such, so that next game, regardless of any rumors of developmental trouble, was pushed off for the same interval that Modern Warfare 2019 was given that time to breathe. That launch lasting a few months, around that 5 to 6 month mark, then we ended up seeing our Cold War reveal in that mid to end of August, if I remember correctly. Then Cold War launched in November, and we saw that same pattern continue again throughout the year. So that time leading up to it when we knew what was coming, and then when it would actually launch, that was condensed into a much smaller window at that point. But while Warzone is that sort of half a year renewal to keep the cycle at a higher peak each year, as opposed to just one singular launch, what about before Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone? And that's kind of where it's not necessarily out of the ordinary, because we're right on target now if we're following previous trends. Black Ops 4 was revealed on May 17th of 2018. World War II was revealed on April 26th of 2017. Infinite Warfare, May 2nd of 2016. Black Ops 3, April 27th of 2015. But that had an initial teaser trailer as early as of April 9th. Advanced Warfare was May 2nd of 2014. Ghost was May 21st. Black Ops 2, May 1st. Modern Warfare 3, May 23rd. Black Ops, May 19th. Modern Warfare 2, May 25th. And you start to see where I'm going with this here. Afterwards, it actually gets a little bit tougher to track those kind of things because they weren't actually posted on any official Call of Duty YouTube page. Instead, they were kind of just given to expos like E3 and other things like that that would then debut it. So the nifty thing with this proposed date that Ralph sent out there later this month and then for a reveal in May is that both are equally valid in that historical larger picture for when reveals actually happen. Both April 30th and sometime in May check out, as Modern Warfare 2019 beforehand was that latest reveal we'd ever seen up until May 30th. So if they want to go back to the traditional marketing and everything like that, it's not out of the ordinary. It actually is something we're coming up on pretty fast. Number 2, what's the other factors looking like for this? What kind of reveal would this even be? I mean, would this then have any lead up that we start maybe say next week or something? Well, when we think of an actual reveal, Ralph says that that's something to look forward to in May. And Ralph, even in the past, has kind of suggested that May 30th could actually be that reveal date for everything here, where we get that full gameplay trailer, sort of recreating that spark that we saw in May of 2019, where May 30th, we saw that reveal for Modern Warfare 2019, then coming full circle, a full 3 years later, we get that Modern Warfare 2 revealed. That's something that he proposed beforehand. Whether or not that still is holding up or checks out, we don't quite know. That was something that was mentioned a couple of months ago at this point. April 30th, I would imagine, is going to be that small scale introduction here that kind of kickstarts everything. From anything that could be a tweet confirming the name of Call of Duty on socials to voice lines dropped or viral marketing campaigns beginning. April 30th could literally be anything. However, that to me is again that start point that will lead up to a full reveal sometime in May. So unfortunately, if you're looking for some sort of trailer or gameplay of some kind on the 30th, that's where I'm kind of skeptical, and I wouldn't say to get my hopes up. But what I do find interesting is that the first day of April 30th mentioned here, that's a few days after the launch of Season 3 for Vanguard and Warzone, which is interesting in its own right. Likely up until the 26th or 27th, maybe a day or two early if pre-installs go out, we won't have a single clue as to what's included in those game files, if there's anything outside of just Vanguard and Warzone contents. We could see the initiation of an event, some things kind of laying the groundwork here for something happening within Warzone that, as a result of the Season 3 update, could start. That could be anything from like an in-game teaser, something so small as like maybe a theater poster having Modern Warfare 2 plastered on it, or anything that could be a full-blown event of some kind. I'd wager it's something coming within the update itself though, especially because it is so close. Normally those bigger updates and seasonal changeovers like this, they usually give that a week or two to breathe so that players are able to experience all those new items in-game before rushing into an event of some kind. But to go into it immediately kind of makes me think that there's going to be something tethered with Season 3 here. I also will say it's very odd that right now, that April 30th, the date that Ralph gave, if it does hold up, that's a Saturday. We don't normally see too much happening for the weekends in the COD scene. Activision, especially when it comes to reveals, releases, and all that kind of stuff, kind of stick to the traditional 9 to 5 working hours approach when crafting schedules for everything like this. They don't often do things on the weekend that are big scale like this. So very interesting that April 30th turns out to be a Saturday. But finally, the third thing here that we can dissect is, what does this mean for the future of the year? Where do we go from here? If we are indeed getting an earlier reveal as opposed to August and September as the last 2 years, why is that firstly? And then what does that mean for the rest of that large gap between May to October or November when a game is actually released? Now, right now, one of the leading theories is that just Vanguard and Black Ops Cold War has kind of been entire misses when it comes to the overall hype factor, I guess, of Call of Duty. Modern Warfare absolutely was something that just the Modern Warfare name, the universe here, the characters with it, that's something that undeniably reinvigorated the sort of hype behind Call of Duty. Vanguard, now where we are 2 years later, listen, I got nothing against the gunplay. The game itself has been kind of boring to me, but I think just overall, World War II isn't something that hypes up players as much as a Modern Warfare game. So with sales objectively being lower, player counts being objectively lower here at this point, it is something that they're looking to rile people back up probably and get them reinterested in the game a little bit earlier. Create that hype period and get that excitement going again a little further out than the last couple of years. But that also makes the next couple of months to look forward to things a little bit interesting, because I will say the nice part about the last 2 years here with reveals happening so later on is that you had kind of everything that you were already expecting: alphas, betas, other reveals of like third modes, campaigns, everything like that. It all happened within a condensed time frame. From reveal to when a game was actually in your hands or in your console or platform of choice, it was like 2 to 3 months max at that point. So you got everything there basically every other week, every third week or something. You got to learn more about the upcoming game, see something, or in some cases even have playable demos. But just like the marketing beforehand, before Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone, you had like 6 months. So it becomes something that creates much more dry periods if you're looking forward to the next thing and wanting to get more hands-on of it. So that unfortunately means that we're probably going to see things spread a little more thin, where maybe every month, every other month, you get a demo of some kind. Maybe you get a playable alpha for PlayStation users like we've seen in the past, but not until late June, early July, whereas the reveal would be in May. Maybe that beta isn't until August. So there's absolutely some drawbacks here with knowing this kind of stuff earlier on, but it is something that is absolutely curious. Though we should definitely mention that right now it's rumored that we could see one of the earliest launches of Modern Warfare 2 here ever, as industry insiders are pointing towards an early October, mid-October release, like what we saw with, say, Black Ops 4 or even Modern Warfare 2019, to where that was, I think, October 25th. So we could see a launch here even earlier on, but right now it's very curious, and it seems like we're right around the corner from learning so much more about the upcoming title. But that said, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to fill you guys in on everything you need to know here and keep you up to date with the newest information here as it came out. So that said, drop your thoughts down below. What are you guys looking forward to? Do you think that we'll see something larger scale here on the 30th? Do you think maybe the 30th is entirely off? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, do be sure to the subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2 here. We are going to keep you up to date with absolutely any and everything you need to know. So if you guys are at all interested, I'd love to have you in the community. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.